Join me right now on Kumite Radio is MMA legend Mark Hunt. He'll be fighting on December 2nd at UFC Adelaide versus Justin Willis. What's going on, Mark?
What's happening here? Just training here, that's all. How you doing?
Good, man. I want to, did you watch UFC Denver? Did you watch the Korean Zombie get knocked out? Did you see that fight?
I watched. I didn't watch it. I just watched the highlights on YouTube. On social media and everything. That crazy elbow, right?
Yeah. Everybody was saying it's like a new technique. But I want to go back to Pride Shockwave 2004, the atomic butt drop that you did on Vanderlei Silva. That was something that was a new technique. Where did you get that technique from?
That's actually a real move, bro. That's actually a real move. That's called the Honda Special. That's a Street Fighter move. So there's a lot of moves in that Street Fighter game you can learn. So that's straight from the Honda's textbook. So
you fought 8 times for Pride. How would you define your experience during that time in Japan?
It was a great time. I mean, it was a learning experience. Pride was really good. It was the beginning of big time mixed martial arts. To be honest, they were averaging 30, 40,000 crowds. It was a new sport for me. I loved my time in Pride. I think it was a great company, and it was kind of sad what happened to it. But the company, the fighters, were pretty raw. I love Japanese anyway. I love Japan anyway. So
Now, fighters in Pride throughout the years, they come out and said that the promotion, they didn't test for steroids, and they kind of encouraged it in Pride. What was your experience with that?
Well, I don't know if they encouraged it in Pride, but I've had when I first got signed, I had my funny experiences. I met it in the boardroom with all the bosses, and when I first went in there, the first thing I said was, I didn't even know why, because I said, oh well, what are you doing about steroids? And I think everyone just started laughing in the whole room. I was just, and then they pretty much just, they just all laughed, and then we just got along, gold. It was like funny because I'm pretty upfront person and honest, and I just said what I felt, and and I think they liked that about me. So I was pretty honest, but I was pretty raw and green when I came into that side anyway, especially being coming from fighting in the an amateur or fighting, just because it was at its early stages, mixed martial arts. So and I came from kickboxing, and I was pretty relatively green about being a professional athlete or professional fighter. So I didn't do anything properly. I didn't know how to do things properly, to be honest. That's how it worked. So,
So basically, you just went with the flow.
Well, I didn't know how things work. Like I said, I came fighting in front of a 1,000-seater casino to 40,000-seater arena. I was like, how did I get here? With going from an unknown person to fighting in front of the whole fraternity, the world of kickboxers, and being in Japan, because it's the fighters are regarded highly. That the cameras are on you, you become a big deal. And I came from just a backyard guy to making chump change to fighting in one of the biggest stages in the world, and not even knowing what I was in there. I was like, oh wow, this is pretty surreal. It was an eye opener, and it changed. I had to learn a lot of stuff that I didn't know about being a professional, big top end fighter. But I'm still learning. It's funny how it works, So I'm 44, but I'm still learning these things. It's crazy.
Well, now you're heading into your last fight for the UFC. Well, the last fight on your contract. You're in Phuket for fight camp again. You gathered coaches, training partners, and of course you got Tai Tuivasa, Tyson Pedro getting ready with you. Tell me about how camp has went and working with all the young juggernauts out there.
Well, for me, it's good. It's good to work with the new generation. I'm done. I've been training with Tai for 5 years. A lot of the guys we train here with for a long time. It's good to see that they're coming through there. In Ty's first main events, and one of many Tyson's. Moving into the top 10. I mean, like I said, it's great for the next generation coming through. To be especially from our side of the world. There's not many fighters from our side of the world, but getting things professionally done, how to do things properly, like not just with fighting, with all taxes and everything like that. It's important, to make sure those things are all straight. Because later on, it does catch up with you when you start making serious coin and stuff. So, yeah, I think it's a good time, and it just goes to show, like, the UFC has opened the doors for younger boys and girls. It doesn't matter where you're from. So, we've got like 7 or 8 fighters from down under that are headlining cards. We've got the champ Robbie Whittaker down there. Um, you know, Israel. Another star coming through. There's a lot of there's a great talent pool in the Oceania area, and there's just a lot more coming through because they can see that the doors are open for a professional job as a top end mixed martial artist. UFC has opened the doors for these kids. So like I said, I'm out and I'm nearly out, so I'm glad I'm on my way out. These guys are pretty talented coming through. So it's like, what the fuck? It's hard to keep up with some of these guys that are training. So I'm just, like I said, I'm a warm meal and a bed. It will suffice me anytime instead of out there in the training trenches. But I got one more year, and I'll hang up the gloves for good, and then we'll go from there.
When this fight was getting put together, Gokhan Saki, he asked for this fight. Many fans, man, they were starving for this fight. They wanted you guys to step in there. How close were you guys to putting that fight together?
It wasn't like I said. I wasn't getting a title shot anytime soon after Derek Lewis. I was getting, I got Curtis Blades. Then he was number 9 or number 7. Then I got number 10. And now I got number 12 or 13. So, there's no way I was getting someone. Other than that, I don't even think Gokhan Saki is heavyweight, but it was just something that was mentioned on social media, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm down for whatever fight, because it's I respect Gokhan Saki, and he's a great striker. To be honest, I don't think I would have struck with him. I probably would have tapped him out. So it would have been my first submission. But but hey, it wasn't my call. It was the UFC's call, and I just said to my management, and I said to you, can I just get a fight straight after this one, after the Russian card, and go from there. And finish my contract, which is what I'm really quite happy about. So yeah. So another part of my life coming forward, which is good. So it's kind of daunting to know you'll be unemployed in December the 4th, and you'll be like, oh, what are you gonna do? Yeah, and fighting has been a big part of my life for years now. It's done so much for me, and when I actually give it up, that's fighting in the big time, which is the UFC. Stepping down to some other shows, who knows? Wow, it's crazy. It's kind of daunting to look at it, and I haven't had time to reflect on the past career at all. But it's been a hell of a ride, that's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people are interested in what's going to happen with you after your last fight, and I want to kind of talk about that a little bit. You said you wanted to fight globally a few times, and could we see Mark Hunt back in the kickboxing arena?
To be honest, I don't know. I've been the best kickboxer in the world. I want to be the best mixed martial artist in the world. I'm not. It's not going to be with the UFC. I'll probably try and fight MMA. I'm going to try and fight globally around the globe, depending on who's available, and if I can organize it with some other people, some fights. That's not going to stop me from fighting, and fight 5 more times before I retire. I mean, while I still can do it, me being 44 and still have a passion for it. I've had, I did hit a road bump with a lot of the steroids and everything that I'm actually in court with the company about. But that aside, I still love and have a passion for what I do. Mixed martial arts. I lost it when I won the world title in kickboxing, and it's come back. I came back a lot with mixed martial arts because it's a whole new ball game, a whole new mountain to climb, and and it's always something new to learn. It's just a whole different beast to tame, and it's been it's been hard to try and to grasp it all, and you get a few wins and then you get a couple of setbacks, and you're like, it's one of those things that but I'm not a quitter. and such as a lot of these other fighters coming through. So I think it's important to try and send the right message out for a lot of the ones that a lot of the young ones coming through. What we're trying to do, so they can take a bit of that on board, and then they'll be fine.
Speaking of the lawsuit against the UFC, Dana White, Brock Lesnar, what is the status of that situation right now?
Wow, I'm just waiting. Well, I can't really mention it, so I won't. So I'll get myself in trouble again, like I always do with talking, speaking my mind. But hey, that's how it is. That's how it is. So I'm not one to be shy from speaking my mind if it's the truth. That's how it is. So
What is the relationship like with Dana White right now, currently?
there's no relationship. I mean, we used to talk, but we don't talk anymore. It's just the way it is. It's just he's my gonna be my former boss, but it's just work. I'm an employee in this. Well, actually, I'm not even an employee. I'm a subcontractor. I'm actually a subcontractor for the company, so I can't say I'm an employee. So that's how it works. We don't even talk. My manager talks to the company, and that's basically it. So I've got 4 more weeks till I'm out of contract, and that's it.
Free.
No, 3 more weeks. Yeah.
Well, you're free. You're free.
Yeah. Well, free. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Well, when I came into the company, I was regarded as the unwanted stepchild. It's a kind of a hard label to swallow. When you're not wanted. And you're talking about someone that regards himself as one of the best fighters in the world. Even though my record sucks, I always felt that I'm one of the best fighters in the world. And when they stigmatize you by saying, "Oh, you're an unwanted stepchild," you don't like that. No one likes that brand or label. You can't, not like a worthless bit of dirt that you can throw around. I'm a human being, so you got to treat people accordingly. I don't care what kind of company you are, how big you are. I mean, shucks, we're all people.
UFC heavyweight champ Daniel Cormier, he really wants to fight with Brock
Yeah.
Lesnar. When you saw this news, what did you think about all of this happening?
The Daniel Cormier and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand why the champ wanted to, would take that fight. I mean, he can decide who he wants to fight. He is the double champ. I mean, there's only Conor McGregor like him that can claim that title, and DC's done it all clean. I mean, we all know Brock Lesnar's he's on the other side. He's one of those guys that take shortcuts, and he doesn't deserve. I mean, like John Jones and all of them, they don't deserve these they don't deserve these accolades. They don't deserve any opportunities or anything. They should be banned like all the cheaters in sport. The Marion Jones, the Barry Bonds, the Lance Armstrongs. They should be banished like those guys. They shouldn't make coin or make advantages of people's hard work when they're cheating everyone. We already know this. We see that in other sports. So why is it different for ours? You know what I mean? So, I mean, if they're trying to set a proper example, guys like DC, why don't you just say something about it? He's talking about, he needs to say something like all the fighters need to speak up about it. Say, look, man, I've got here cleanly. I don't want to be fighting these cheaters. We need to make an example of these guys. We shouldn't give them these opportunities and accolades that they're getting. Otherwise, everyone would do it in society. Or fucking cheaters everywhere. I mean, what do we do in society with cheaters? We punish them. So why is it different for sport? Especially MMA. Especially MMA when they're hurting people.
Yeah, even though it's an individual sport, I think there's a time for fighters to stick together, and this is probably one of those moments.
Man, it's been like that for years. I mean, unions and everything. I think there's a lot of fighters, but they're not real fighters. They just, I mentioned a few years ago about, to a lot of fighters about starting unions and sticking together, but all I got from them is I got mortgages and shit. Motherfucker, who hasn't got a mortgage? I mean, shut. I just, I think they're just scared. They're just, they're not really living their whole life to I mean, to what they, For me, I risked everything. Especially when you go on fighting, you risk everything as a fighter. Your whole life, you risk. And when you're risking, when some guys using steroids, your risk goes higher because he's got far more strength, far more advantages than you have, and you could die. God forbid someone might die in that sort of situation. Who would they blame? Would it be a criminal offense? I just, it'll be good one day if all the fighters would get together and make a union and unionize like the other sports, basketball, and make it legitimate. All I see at the top end is just illegitimacy, just fucking cheaters making money, and like I said many times, it pays to cheat nowadays. Some guy will take being caught, the punishments aren't being enforced. Then they get caught. They said, "I don't give a fuck. I just made a couple $1 million. See you later. See you in a year of it." I mean, the hopefully it changes in the next few years with different stuff. With me, when I wanted to put my clause in with fighting, I don't mind fighting guys, but if it clearly stated in the contract about different using steroids or punishments, like with Alistair and the other guys when I fought them, I said, can I put a clause in my contract saying if he's cheating, and they still gave the guy, the benefits, even an IV when he wasn't allowed one. It's just a piss take. It's just the rubbish, man. It's you're not setting the right example, and when you get to the top here, all you get is more cheaters, more money-hungry grubs is what you get.
Well, the sport is going in many different directions now. There's the entertainment factor. There's
it needs to go in the right direction.
Yeah.
It needs to go in the direction of being clean and legitimate, not fucking, not who's got the biggest fucking needle up the ass. I mean, shucks.
Yeah, definitely.
I said many times about enforcing punishments or taking away all their money because you don't make once they're making no money, then they can't buy their doctors to pay for their shit. So anyway, I let the lawyers take care of that. Every time I speak about the lawsuit and drugs, it makes me angry because people say it's just business. It's not fucking business. It's people's personal and it's their fucking lives. Motherfuckers just don't get it.
Yeah, man, you're speaking the truth. 100%.
People could get really bad injuries from this sort of shit. And it's no joke.
Yeah.
It isn't something to play around with people's lives, especially when they got dependents to look after and things like this. It's already a hard enough sport, especially at the top end to be in. But I think the cowards just take it to the next level by just cheating and running the gauntlet and saying, "Oh, I'll risk it if I can get away with it, then it's sweet." I really said my piece about this. What we should do with cheaters and contracts and everything, and I don't know why they're not going with that. We have to try and force their hand by going to court and doing these things when we shouldn't have to. Ain't no fucking. Hey man, we'll just do. We have to put them through the system and USADA, and then give them a fine and a couple of years ban. And fuck that, man. That's not even harsh enough penalties. For losing an eye or fucking something like that. It's actually preposterous. It's rubbish. It truly is. And hopefully one day things can change. Hopefully this lawsuit and these other things change this way they do these things, especially with fighting and the penalties with drug cheats and things like that. Make it more legitimate is what I say.
Yeah, it will definitely make it more legitimate. It will make it more of a sport.
At the end of the day, it's a company about making money, but fuck it, it's not like they're gonna take their shit with them. Motherfucker's gonna die like everyone else. What are you gonna do when you're taking? You gotta take your shit with you. You're dead. You got nothing. You come into this world with nothing, and you'll go with fucking nothing. You can't take your fucking Ferrari with you. Motherfuckers. Anyway,
let's go out on a positive note.
Yeah.
I know you're into gaming. You're down there gaming a lot, streaming on Twitch. Is that a second career you're trying to start?
Yeah, no, I've been gaming since I was a child. It was a form of escape for me, and I've been gaming. Sometimes I didn't go to training because I was too fat to just go and train. I just sit and fucking game all day and night long. And my wife would say, why aren't you training? Oh, I'm sick. There's another 8 hours going to gaming. So we're starting the EFL, which is kicking off in London. Me and Ben 10 are the main event for it, and we're starting with the old 6 old fighting games: Street Fighter, Tekken. I'm a big Counter Strike player. I've been playing for years. My account's like 20 years old. I'm not that good at it. I'm okay, but I'm not a pro. But it's one of my gaming is one of my things that I love. I think sometimes I do it too much times instead of my wife says, "Why don't you fucking go and do something?" You know. But my son, I'm getting into gaming. He wants to be a gamer. He's 10. Well, both my sons love gaming, but my 10-year-old wants to be a gamer, and so we're going to launch it off in the EFL in London. So look out for that coming at you soon. I'm really excited about that. It's we have a lot of um, things happening with the gaming, and the industry of gaming is huge, as you probably already know. And I just love gaming. I love I'm not a nerd. Wow, I'm a gaming nerd. I love gaming. I'm a gaming fighter. Not all of us gamers sit behind a computer and keyboard warrior people. I mean, I keyboard warrior people too, but I'm actually a professional athlete on the side. I'd like to be a pro gamer one day, but right now I just stick to getting beat up for a living while I can. And then by the time I get too old, I'll leave the game and on my terms when I'm ready. This business ain't gonna throw me out. I'll throw it out before it throws me out, and I'll go and start doing what I love to do also, which is gaming. So something new. Well, not new for me. People think it's new that I just come for gaming, but I've been gaming for a long, long time. Couldn't really say that, but my Counter Strike, I've got a $40,000 inventory on my Counter Strike account, so which isn't really good to say because people just get really angry at you. Say, why are you spending money on pixels? Well, motherfucker, because you might spend money on cars and fucking turbos and boats and whatever. I can spend money on pixels, okay? It's my thing. So, I love it. I love gaming, and I can be me on there. Well, not me, but as you know, Counter Strikes, people get really toxic on there, and you can swear at them whatever you want, and they don't know who you are, and it's fun, So, anyway.
That's awesome, man. Mark, thank you for your time, and good luck on the rest of your career. Everybody's gonna be watching, and good luck on the lawsuit and everything that's going on in your life, man.
Hey, man, it is what it is, and that's how life takes it. But thanks for your time, and I appreciate it, man. Hopefully, we change things in the future for the kids and the boys and the girls that do start MMA, and help them out by giving them a good start by making it fair, making it even playing field, not a cheating playing field to make more money. So much love to everyone, all your viewers. What's up? Support the cause, man. We got to get behind the even playing field, man, and kick out these freaking cheaters. All right, man. Thanks for the time.